Well, workers are set to resume transferring nuclear waste at the closed San Onofre nuclear power plant.
This comes after a near-miss incident with a canister full of hot nuclear waste halted the work back in August. Joining us now is Charles Langley. He's CEO of the consumer group Public Watchdogs. And Charles, your group is suing to stop this nuclear waste from even being buried there at the beachfront. So why is SoCal so intent on continuing this transfer of these canisters?
Well, it's the cheapest, easiest thing for them to do, and they got approval of this process. And, they had to check a bunch of boxes. Is it in a relatively safe canister, that kind of thing. But there wasn't a box for, did you put it 100 feet away from the ocean? There wasn't a box they checked, is it 2 feet above a saltwater table? Is it in a canister that can withstand an earthquake when it's on top of an earthquake fault? None of that was done. So the Nuclear Regulatory Commission approved this location, and now they're allowing Southern California Edison to handle these canisters in a way that's unsafe.
Charles, let me ask you. You said approve this location. Let's back it up. You and I have talked about this before on San Diego People. Initially, there was talk of either moving it to Texas or to Yucca Flats or somewhere else and getting it out of here. I know Congressman Issa and others wanted it out of here. And now, all of a sudden, they're storing it on the beach, in the bluffs. What happened to the agreement?
Not in the bluffs.
Not even in the bluffs?
No,
on the beachfront.
We would consider it a victory if we could get it up above on the bluffs. Right now, it's 108 feet from the beach.
What happened to getting it out of the state and out of that area altogether?
Well, that's almost impossible under current law. Any discussion of that is almost moot. What we can do is move it in safer containers up onto the mesa across the freeway, where it's not in a tsunami inundation zone, where it's less vulnerable to an earthquake or terrorist attack. That's about the best we can do right now under federal law. And that would be a difficult legal challenge, but that's the challenge we've chosen to accept.
Okay, so they had this near miss back in August, this canister full of this nuclear waste, suspended high above on a cable, no real supervision, but they're saying, okay, we're going to make sure this does not happen again. How can we be sure of that?
They can't, because they're operating blind. They designed and engineered a system where they're basically dropping a giant 100,000-pound soup can into a slightly larger soup can buried in the beach, and there's very little clearance. And what we found in the last few weeks is that every single one of these cans has been damaged as it goes into the ground. Excuse me. So we've got damaged cans that have been scratched or dented, and this is a real problem because with the type of steel they use for these cans, a tiny little scratch can result in through-wall crack in the can, and this is the deadliest stuff on earth. You can't have cracking cans.
We need to fully understand the magnitude of what's happening here, because this one is in an earthquake fault line area, a tsunami zone. You've got hundreds of millions of people in what, a 50-mile radius at least, or if not a 100-mile radius.
8.5 million.
Yeah, 8.5 million. But right now, they're saying that they will not resume until they train at least 60 employees. Do you buy into that?
This isn't an issue of worker training. This is an issue of a deeply flawed system where the employees are operating blind, and where if they're going to do their job correctly, they have to agree to get an intense dose of radiation that's going to shorten their career in the nuclear industry. They each wear a little badge. And once that badge turns color, it means they've absorbed a lifetime of radiation. So they don't want to look down the hole when this can is going down, because if they do, they're going to get dosed. And the radiation off these cans are hot. You could fry a steak on the side of one. If you got within a couple feet of one, your life expectancy would be several hours. And it's dangerous, dangerous stuff.
Our producer's wrapping us, a hard wrap, but I just have one question. Is there anything that can be done to stop this, or is this all a done deal at this point?
We filed an amended complaint in federal court today, and I'd urge everyone to go to our website at publicwatchdogs.org and learn a little bit more, sign our petition.
Okay,
I would think they
that.
would, because this whole thing just sounds insane to me.
It does. Hard to believe.
Thank you, Alan.
Thanks so much, Charles, for being here.
Good.